All right, everyone. There was going to be a Women's March event actually in Eureka, which is north of San Francisco, and they decided to cancel it. And the organizer said, well, it was going to be too white, essentially. Everyone that was showing up, I guess, for the pregame sort of signing up, they all seemed like white people, and that's exclusionary and not diverse enough. We want to present a different image of feminism. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay. Which group of people, because these people on the left often talk about like the demographics of income and stuff. Which kind of people in such a community are most likely to have the time they can take a day off from work and not worry about losing that money, losing their job or something? Who's going to show up for such a march? Typically speaking, when we get especially left-wing activistic movements, you can call them craptivistic or activistic depending on whether you agree with them, usually a large proportion, a disproportionate number of the people who show up for the event, not support it, but show up, are going to be people in college kids. Some of these campuses are largely white. People who come from the upper middle class, trust fund babies, people from gated communities. They live on daddy's credit card. They don't have to worry about losing their job at Starbucks or something. They can live off daddy's credit card, or maybe they're just studying to be a dentist, like their parents, grandparents, and great grandparents. They've got a job for life. They don't have to worry. They have some dynastic professional position where they can pull in $60K to start, and they don't have to worry too much. Those are the sorts of. Do you think that people from the low income neighborhood have that liberty to fucking show up for your stupid rally? And then these rallies anyway, they pissed a lot of people off because they're sheltering a bunch of the Women's March movement is sheltering literal religious zealots that have beliefs that are totally antithetical, I think, to anything within what you would consider feminism. It's like you've gone past it now. You've almost become chauvinistic in some elements, and it's very, very strange to me. It's very, very strange watching the left grapple with what it decides to believe in on any given day. Are we going to be pro-religion because inclusivity of certain religious groups, or are we going to lambaste it because it's homophobic or sexist or something? It's very, very funny, especially when it's the Women's March, dedicated feminist movement. One that I happen not to largely agree with, I will say. Insofar as they're marching for reproductive health, reproductive rights and stuff, I actually agree with all of that. The problem is the organizers are, some of them are zealots, like, what's her name? That one, the one there that's literally, she said that some other woman shouldn't be allowed to have a vagina, or something should have her vagina cut off because of some comment she made. I can't remember. It's just weird shit. You have people like that as part of these movements, and then, you're trying to plan this rally, and you're surprised that the people who are planning to show up are people who are at liberty to show up. You're going to have the same result no matter where you move this rally to. You do realize that, right? For the main event, the ultimate once-a-year women's rally, okay, yeah, you can have your diverse crowd, but if you're holding some auxiliary event that's smaller, not as well advertised, it's like, hey, 2 weeks from now we're holding a tea and get together, we're going to knit tea cozies together or something and talk about the suffragettes, or yeah, you can expect that, yes, there's going to be a lot of people disproportionately more wealthy, individuals in college, and people of that nature, or people who are literally trust funders and they don't want to be employed. Oh, daddy pays for my Lamborghini. I don't have to worry. Yes, I can show up and talk about how oppressed I am. Very, very funny. So yeah, that's the reason why. I have a feeling that part of it was maybe not enough people wanted to show up. They didn't want to have a rally and have it be like 10 people or something. Maybe this is literally nothing more than an excuse. And we've seen that before with political rallies, not just from the left. We've seen it. Notably, certain rallies around free speech in the tech world have fallen apart over the last couple of years. Sometimes, unfortunately, due to various forms of mismanagement. Sometimes, just sort of imploded. They get attacked by shills, I think, in some cases. We think of some of these events, very unfortunate. Remember DashCon? Remember the Tumblr event that they had and the ball pit and how funny that was? I think didn't they piss in the ball pit at some point? And it's just like, I think that's what they were worried about. They're like, maybe they were looking at their funding or something like, this is going to come up short. We're not going to be able to supply some of the things that people wanted here. Let's just cancel it. We'll redirect the funding out. We'll fucking reimburse people, and then we'll hold the main rally. Now, the other thing you've got to understand is that the peak outrage mob actually over that issue was several years ago. We're talking about like the Donglegate sort of era. That was peak, oh my god, evil men. And now you've sort of gone past that, and the natural reaction has happened, which has led a post-reaction to a lot of ambivalence around it. Now, literally, nobody cares about the issue as much anymore. Can you remember how many? Look at the crowd of. Here's a good measure. Look at all the content creators. You know, the usual gang of people that you probably watch. If you're watching this channel, you probably know who Tim Pool is. You probably know who H.A. Goodman is. You probably see Lionel and the Golden One, and Varg, and all these other people. You know who Paul Joseph Watson is. You know who Mal Nu is, and so forth. You know, dozens or hundreds of people. See Mark Dice, Crowder, and stuff. Look at the content. Look at the content from like a couple years ago. There's a much higher degree of here's funny feminist joke of the day material. Now it's not so much. Now a lot of it has to do with tech censorship. I think we've gone past the issue of just arguments over left versus right, or like men and women, gay and straight. So we've gotten past that because I think a lot of people have realized that we can continue to have all those debates forever. It'll be hilarious. We can meme, we can troll, we can shill and shitpost, and it'll be the Wild West internet forever. It'll be like the greatest thing ever, and it'll be secure forever. But only if we defend internet free speech. And so that becomes the top issue. The only issue that I care about at the top right now, is insofar as anything of a political nature, is defending the internet's free speech, free expression online. That is the #1 issue. It has been for years. People got distracted. I think that was actually a problem. And it can be amusing. Like, it's fun to laugh at leftists, and they have fun laughing at right-wingers and stuff. It's all well and good. You know, telling funny jokes. You can't do that anymore if you have too much tech censorship. The problem being that the social justice warriors that typically are going to dye their hair pink and show up to such an event, yeah, they probably believe in internet censorship. So it's good to see the event fail and not happen. That's about all. Peace out.